Rhonda's back and sitting with the industry's heaviest hitters. Catch an all-new episode of Credit Authority with Rhonda Kolch.
And welcome back to another episode of the Credit Authority. Once again, I am your host, Rhonda Kolch, and today we have an amazing guest. For those of you that know me and are near and dear to my heart, you know not only do I love country music, but I myself have a farm, and our next guest is not only a recording artist, but she also works with a rescue. So welcome, Makenzie Phipps. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me today.
I am so excited, when I had the opportunity to, or I should say when I got the phone call and they said, hey, we have this young, amazing woman that we would love for you to interview. It was very exciting. I read through your bio, I listened to your music, and I'm very, very excited to have you on today. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you're working on right now?
Right. So, I always tell people, I started singing at the age of 4. And, I'm from a very small town in Virginia called Bluefield. And, my family, they were always musically oriented. They always liked music. And I was around it majority of my life. And I got started singing in church. And, throughout the years, when I turned 10, I was interested in the piano and I learned that. And then when I was 14, that's actually when I started going out and performing at shows. And I started learning guitar at age 15. And, I was just so fortunate for everything that the good Lord has given me at such a young age. And, being able to do what I love to do, which is music, is just so incredible to me. And I'm just so blessed to be doing what I absolutely love to do. And I love sharing my music with the world. I have so many friends, as I call them. I don't call them my followers on my social media pages because, without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. And they have helped me so much with being so supportive and helping me get to where I am today. And without them, I wouldn't be able to be currently in New York like I am right now. And being able to this past summer go to Nashville, Tennessee, and get to go into a studio with a Grammy nominated producer and recording a couple songs. So truly, I'm just blessed. That is all I have to say about that.
I love it. And I love when I have the opportunity to speak to somebody about their journey. In the recording world, obviously you've chosen the path of what I'll say is country music. Were you pulled in that direction because of your demographics where you were raised, or do you feel that country just speaks to you separately?
Well, coming from a small town, I've always been told that I have an accent, even though I don't believe I have an accent. And, when I first started performing out at places, I really didn't put myself into a specific genre. I just kind of played music that I liked to play. I'd go from Miranda Lambert to Demi Lovato to Avril Lavigne, just different artists that I really enjoyed listening to. And, as I got older and I got more into the music scene, people were talking about, you kind of need to pick what genre you'd like to do. And a lot of my family members said that I seemed to really do well with country music and that it seemed to suit me. And it does come very natural and easy to me. So when I got more into singing country, I just really enjoy doing it. And I think that it fits my voice the best.
I know that you are on your way to stardom. If you were given the opportunity to tour and open for any artist, who would that be right now?
Lord, for the longest time, that answer was Miss Loretta Lynn, and she passed away on October 4th. And she was actually my biggest idol in music for as long as I can remember. She was the first person I ever started singing. So, I never actually thought about who would be my second in line for that because, I always thought Miss Loretta was going to live forever. But if I had to pick an artist that I would love to tour with, it would definitely be Ashley McBryde. I just love everything about her. I love her songwriting ability. I just love her as a person, and I would just love to meet her one day.
I love that. Now, we've talked about a little bit of social media and how social media has helped you launch your career. What do you think the biggest challenge has been as a music artist in today's society?
Well, The biggest challenge for me, surprisingly, is, I've always been told since I was younger that I have a very old soul. And, the people on majority of my social media platforms are older people in a sense. I do reach out to a lot of older people in that older generation because I absolutely love classic country and I love singing, Tammy and Loretta and all of them. And, the biggest challenge I've had is actually reaching out to people that are in my age group. So that's honestly been the biggest thing is trying to get both age categories, old and young, into what I do.
Tell us a little bit about your new release. You have a new song that is out right now.
Yes. So, like I was talking about, I was so honored and fortunate to have been able to go down to Nashville, Tennessee this summer, and I got to go into the studio with Mr. Sal Oliveri, and he is a Grammy nominated producer. And, I had some songs that were pitched to me, and he actually pitched them to me through a list of Nashville songwriters. And my newest single, which is Drag, happened to be one of them. And when I listened to them, I really enjoyed how the song was and when we got to go in studio and I was able to sing that song, and I just absolutely loved how the end result turned out. And I was so glad that it released earlier this month. And I was even more fortunate to have People magazine actually feature that song. And it's just been so incredible, everything that's been going on in the last couple of months. And I just could not be more thrilled with everything that's been going on. And a lot of people on my page have been really enjoying the song. So it is available on all streaming platforms if y'all like to go download it.
Of course, we want to go and download it. We would love to support you. So we know that you are in New York right now, although you and I are not in person. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing in New York.
Yes. So, today is fully lined up with different interviews with media platforms. And, this is actually the second time that I've been in New York. The first time was actually back in high school and I came with my choir trip. So, this is going to be a little bit of a different dynamic, but I've been really excited about today and tomorrow as well. So, fingers crossed everything goes well.
I'm sure that it's going to go well. Now, when I was reading through your bio, you are also an animal lover. Tell us a little bit about your volunteer work that you're doing.
Yes. So, I have always loved animals since I was a little girl. And unfortunately, I'm actually allergic to dogs and cats, but that does not stop me at all. But, I have a local animal shelter in West Virginia because I'm on the state line of Virginia and West Virginia. And at the time, I had had a friend whose mom is actually the director at the shelter. And they would have me come out sometimes if they were having adoption events and they wanted live music and I would go and I'd perform just to bring some people in and to have just music to listen to. And to make a long story short, I was introduced to a dog that had had some very bad physical issues going on. And, I had raised money to help him, and he unfortunately did end up passing away because he was just in a lot of pain. And we don't know what exactly happened to him, but we can only just have assumptions. And I vowed from that day that I was going to help as many animals as I could get into their forever home. So I started volunteering back in January. And I would go to the shelter and I would walk the dogs, train them a little bit and just give them some love. And each week I would pick a dog that I felt should be spotlighted. And I do a little video segment on them and just give a little bio in hopes that somebody out there fits their needs and would be willing to adopt them.
I love that. So, what do we have to look forward to in, let's just say, the next 12 months for Makenzie Phipps?
Well, I'm actually working on releasing an EP next year. So I'm really looking forward to that. And like I was talking about, in Nashville, I got to actually record 6 songs in studio, and those will be releasing in the near future. So everybody can keep an eye on those on all of my social media pages. I'm available on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. And I actually do have a new website, and it is actually MakenziePhipps.com. So for those of you who have been on my previous website, you can go to my new one now, which is at that URL.
I love it. Well, once again, I appreciate you taking time and speaking to us today. Again, we are speaking with country recording artist Makenzie Phipps. Follow her journey. Once again, I am Rhonda Kulch, the host of The Credit Authority. Stay tuned for our next guest.